here's how it works at a Confession Tuesday. You go to cnykiss.com and tell us your story. Tell us what's going on in your world. And it's all for free. It's all confidential. And Rebecca is a life coach. She's not a therapist. She's a life coach, which is all about getting the desired results that you want.
Yes. The business is Inspired Results because I believe everyone could get any result that they're looking for if they just get out of their own way. And I actually do have a therapy background, but the reason we're calling it life coaching is because this is just really solution-focused work where, anyone who is going to be successful has mentors or coaches that can see what's in the way of getting the goal. And that's what I'm doing. So we eliminate any faulty belief systems, emotional blocks, and patterns we address to shake it up so you get some different results.
And for everyone, everyone's going through different things, but 9 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, you can actually relate to whatever the subject is.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's bigger things, sometimes it's smaller things. Case in point, this letter.
Okay.
Dear Rebecca, the other day I had a phone interview for a job I really, 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 really wanted. It went great right up until the end. I was getting along so well with the interviewer, but when we were hanging up, I said, "Thanks, bye, love you too."
Wow.
Yeah, they said "love you" to the interviewer as they were hanging up. I don't know why I said it. I think I'm just conditioned to say "I love you" to my friends and family before I hang up, and it just came out. I'm so embarrassed. Should I email them and try to explain things, or should I just ignore and pretend it didn't happen? Did I totally screw up my chances for getting the job?
Wow, this is great. Thanks for writing in. I think, it's so important to be your authentic self, flaws and all, right? I mean, we all have little quirks, and I think that's what makes us unique.
I have no
and
quirks.
Fantastic.
I have none.
Okay.
None whatsoever.
Sure. Yep.
One of the things I love to say is that the flaws are the frosting, right? Like if you're lucky enough to know me, flaws and all, you're lucky. And if I'm lucky enough to know you, flaws and all, then I'm really lucky. In this case, when it's a professional situation, it's delicate. And I think making humor and making light and making a joke out of some of these silly little things that can happen can be helpful. I may have on the phone just started laughing right there. Oh my gosh, can't believe I just said that. You have a wonderful day. I really appreciate you taking the time to interview me. Something. If that didn't happen, that's not bad.
Right.
It's just, here's the deal. These people are going to be able to appreciate and accept you for who they are or who you are, or they're not, right? So this is you. It's like, here's me on a silver platter, take it or leave it. And then I wouldn't be stepping over what happened if you're uncomfortable. Why not shoot them an email, thanking them for the interview, saying, here's what I think I can bring to the table to the job. I really appreciate you taking the time with me and just see what happens. But at the very least, this is a cool learning opportunity and maybe a way for you to not take yourself so seriously.
Because I pulled like a little faux pas in a job interview once. It was for a sales job when I was in between radio gigs, and I absolutely dropped the F-bomb.
Oh my gosh!
In the middle of the job interview.
How does that even happen?
Well, I was selling cars.
Okay.
And I was interviewing for another sales job, and they asked me. They said, why don't you like doing what you're doing now? And I said, well, think about it. If you're in car sales, everyone thinks that you're out to blank them.
Oh.
And that's not me. I'm really into trust. And, it actually hurts me that people don't trust me. I'm a big trust guy. And the interviewer looked at me and she's like, you realize you just dropped the F-bomb in the middle of your interview, right? And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Are you offended? She's like, no, I'm still going to offer you the job. Just don't tell anybody that you dropped the F-bomb in your interview. So that was me being genuine,
right?
And it showed through. So.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I'm saying. Either they'll accept you or they won't. And who doesn't have flaws? Who doesn't all of a sudden just trip over their words? It happens to everyone. And I think what's really important is to just not take yourself so seriously because you're human. Everyone out there, you pinch yourself, it hurts, right? Like we bleed, we're human.
If anything, the person who emailed us, they'll probably stick out more than anybody else because they said that.
It's like there's no such thing as bad publicity.
And that's that's a positive thing.
I agree.
So
I absolutely agree. And I wish you all the best. And here's the deal. This job will either want you for who you are and see your true colors, or it wasn't the right fit. And you can't screw it up. I want everyone to consider the possibility that you can't screw anything in your life up.
people put a lot of pressure on themselves for job interviews.
Well, and just in life in general.
Yeah.
The way they're performing in their relationships, work, their bodies. And I'm saying you can't screw up because there is a light at the end of the tunnel and a learning curve, regardless of what area you're working on in your life. And I'm working with people who their lives aren't a mess. Their lives work. And we're taking like 2% of the strategies they use that keep them full of stress and not getting what they want and handle that. But your life's working. You're not screwing up. I promise you're winning. So act like it. That's the homework for this listener is act like you're winning. Act like you absolutely ace the interview and then see what happens. And don't be afraid to do a follow-up email. Everyone with interviews, you should always do a follow-up email because what Gary's saying is so important. You want to stand out. You want to be memorable. You don't want to just be another resume or a number.
Absolutely. It is Confession Tuesday. Local life coach Rebecca Silence, inspiredresultscoach.com. Make sure you like them on Facebook as well. And of course, go to cnykiss.com and tell us your story confidentially and for free. Another email coming up next here on Kiss FM.